Hi, I'm Brogan Hayes, and you're watching One to Watch. This week is sort of a strange week for cinema releases in Ireland. We have 22 Jump Street, Grace of Monaco, Fruitvale Station, two of which screened at the Cannes Film Festival in different years, but are highly anticipated. But my One to Watch is none of those films. It is instead Cheap Thrills. So Cheap Thrills is the story of a man named Craig who loses his job. Him and his wife are pretty much living on the breadline as it is. Before going home to tell his wife that they're pretty much doomed financially, he decides to stop in a bar and have a drink. While there, he runs into an old high school friend named Vince, played by Ethan Embry. And it's not long before they meet this couple who are also drinking in the bar. Violet, played by Sarah Paxton, and Colin, played by Chamkind himself, David Kirkner. This couple have more money than sense, I guess, and decide to get Vince and Craig to do ever increasingly dangerous dares for money. Get a girl at the bar to slap you in the face, $300, this sort of thing. The night goes on, they move back to Colin and Violet's house, and the dares just keep on coming. First things first, if you are in any way squeamish, Cheap Thrills is going to be a difficult watch. I'm okay with sort of like gun violence or, axe murders in horror films, this sort of thing, but there are some parts of Cheap Thrills where I actually had the hood of my hoodie over my head, literally gagging at what I could hear happening on the screen. So like I say, sensitive stomach, stay away. The story is actually quite familiar in a way. The idea of pitting people against each other for money is something that has been touched on before, certainly in the final room in the film Four Rooms, and as it was mentioned to me, it's very reminiscent of a Tales of the Unexpected story as well. So yes, it's familiar, but it's also a really, really clever examination of characters and people and the things we will do for greed or for our families or whatever it is that motivates us. Pat Healy is great as Craig. We don't really get to know that much about him until the stakes get raised quite high in the game and he turns to Vince, his friend, and just says, "I want to go home." And that's when we're immediately on his side. We're immediately rooting for him. He doesn't want to be here to do it anyway, so let's just get these dares out of the way and let him go home. Ethan Embry turns up from time to time in films. He was, of course, in Empire Records. He shakes off his Empire Records character, and certainly I've been hanging on to that for years because I freaking love Empire Records. It's a great film. So it's nice to see him play a character who's actually not a sweetheart and is actually quite ruthless and, out for himself and will trample over his friends and people he hasn't seen in years to get what he wants. David Kirkner, he's really the big name in Cheap Thrills, and his character is kind of similar to Chamkind in that it's all bravado and it's all persona and it's all for the laughs and it's all for fun. Sort of similar to Chamkind. Sarah Paxton doesn't actually have a whole lot to do, but it does become very clear that she is the brains behind this operation. So while David Kirkner's character is telling these men what to do, it's her that's coming up with the ideas, which is a nice little interplay. So as well as the interplay between the husband and wife, there is the interplay between these two friends. They knew each other, they haven't seen each other for a long time, and the power does sort of ebb and flow back and forth between them. As well as this, watching the film, we can see that Craig and Vince are basically allowing these two people to destroy their lives in the pursuit of money. We know that Craig has a wife and young child at home. We don't know that much about Vince other than he wants money and he likes money and he'll do whatever it takes to get it. But these two men don't ever really seem to be aware that the couple is playing with them, trying to destroy them for their own amusement, and that's where the title of the film comes from. There are some great performances in there. There's lovely flows of power and friendship and camaraderie back and forth between the group. It's really, really often disturbing and often disgusting, but gripping film to watch. Out of 10, I'd give Cheap Thrills 8. It's perfect, but it's a darn good watch. But like I say, if you're squeamish, don't bother, and please do not bring food into the cinema when you're going to see it, because I'm telling you, you will be turned right off it. And just a reminder that I am going to do One to Watch Classic possibly next week. We'll see. So at the moment there's been a couple of votes in for me to watch and review Jurassic Park, which I'm more than happy to do, but if there is something that you would like me to watch and review on One to Watch Classic, my new venture on this channel, you can tweet me, you can comment, let me know which film you would like me to watch from One to Watch Classic. Until then, your One to Watch this week is Cheap Thrills. I've been Burke and Rhys, and this right here, One to Watch.